Hello Taurus, welcome to Essence Reflections Tarot. My name is Krista. This is your reading for the week of May 13th to 19th, 2019. It is for Taurus Sun, Moon, and Rising signs. If you're new to my channel, you can check out my introduction video, which will give you a bit of background on how I approach the cards. Let's dive in. So for your first card, we have the King of Swords, and this is going to speak to us today about how things are going on for you physically. So your body, your physical surroundings. And in your emotional realm, the Queen of Swords is the card that has come up. And for your mental realm, we're looking at the Four of Swords. And for spiritual, we're looking at the Moon. So just right off the bat, the first thing that jumps out here is that there is a lot of thinking going on. Swords tend to represent thinking. They can also represent communication. So a lot of air happening for you right now, and it's looking at what's happening for you physically. It looks to me like you may be having a run-in with your perfectionist, your inner perfectionist, the one who is always telling you how things could be better, and that if you can't do it right, you might as well not do it at all. And that can be quite paralyzing, and if it's not paralyzing, it can cause a fair bit of mental torture, and it can make it much harder to do just even basic normal things. It may feel like you're having to wade through a lot of what ifs and questions before you go ahead and do anything and take any actions. And as far as emotionally, with the Queen of Swords here, interestingly enough, it's a contrast. As far as how your emotions are, you're pretty clear right now on what's what, and you're able to separate that truth from that illusion as far as your emotions go. When it carries over into taking actions, that's where things are getting tripped up by your perfectionist. And mentally, it would seem like mentally there's a lot of quiet contemplation happening. It is very much removed from, it's like there's a real separation between taking action and how you're feeling and how you're thinking. And when we're looking at the Moon here in your spiritual quadrant, that could make sense. It seems to me like there are things coming up for you from your past, possibly in dreams that are, they seem big and they seem very daunting and overwhelming, and likely very unclear at this point. And that may be why you're trying to take a back seat mentally and not overthink things, which is an interesting approach. I think that what this reading really calls for is a lot of self-love, a lot of self-love, especially when it comes to the perfectionist. We are not meant to be perfect. I know we're often taught that we need to be perfect, and it hurts to make mistakes sometimes, but that's how we learn. Um, we learn the most from trying and doing and failing and getting back up again. Um, and it may be helpful for you when you're in this space of mental calm to really listen to what's happening with your body and really listen to what's happening with you physically. And instead of judging and allowing the perfectionist to step in and have their say, perhaps just noticing what's happening and not judging it. And with the moon here and with what's coming up for you spiritually, remember that there is a light at the end of the tunnel for you. The next card in the journey of the tarot after the moon is the sun. And that speaks of things coming into consciousness that are new. And the moon is the stage before that where these things are coming up from our unconscious. Things that have been, ruling us without us realizing what's happening. And now that it's coming up, sometimes it can be very distressing. I've been making decisions based on this. And that could be why your perfectionist has stepped in and gone, okay, we gotta fix stuff here. But it's not always the perfectionist that has the greatest ideas for moving forward. They tend to be the one who is telling us, no, what we can't do and what's not right. But what we're looking for is some quiet stillness, and also look to that emotional clarity as well, in terms of what it is that we can your calm thinking and your clear emotions right now are what are going to help you get through this time. And I can't stress enough self-love. This is the time to remind yourself of your great qualities, and if you really can't think of any right now, find someone close to you and let them know, and ask them to maybe remind you of what some of those things are. I hope that this has been helpful for you. Let me know in the comments below if it's resonated for you. If it didn't, that's okay. It's a general reading. If you want your own personal reading, I'd be happy to provide you one. The link is in the description box below to my website, and you can book there, or you can just send me a message and we can get started on that for you. And I hope you have an excellent week, and remember this week that you are surrounded by love.